and welcome back to another episode of When Life Feels Messy, episode 27. And welcome back, our lovely Ash.
Hello. Hello.
We missed you.
Miss you too.
Insert crying emoji.
Literally insert dancing emoji.
Dancing emoji. I was gonna do like a montage of like Nim's like Shady's back, but Ash is back.
Yes, I am here.
We're so happy you're here. It was not the same without you.
Oh my gosh.
Yay. Okay, listeners, now that we have our regular scheduled programming back here,
Yay.
we are coming live to you with another episode on how animals boost mental health.
OMG. I'm so excited for this because what better topic to start off with than my return?
Yes.
Like literally.
I think this is like a really like fun and easy episode to come back to, but also like very accurate of our own experiences with our pets.
And we will talk about that.
Yes.
We're going to get into that. That's a very important part of this episode, our own personal experiences with our pets.
Yes.
But before we get into that, let's talk about some stats really quickly. So 84% of pet owners say that their pets have a mostly positive impact on their mental health. The poll was in February of 2024, and it was about 2,200 adults. I would say that's like pretty accurate or more.
Mm-hmm. Right. I mean, it's a decently small sample size.
Yeah.
For that. But 84% is still pretty high with that.
Okay, so also, among the many mental health benefits of pets, nearly 2/3 of pet owners say that their animals offer companionship, that's 65%, are a true friend, another 65%, and provide unconditional love and support, 64%. Can definitely attest to that. That's some true facts.
Yes. Yeah. I'm a little like intrigued that it's only 65% because I'm over here like 120%, you know?
Yes.
Like,
for each pet.
So we have like 500%. Well, in my case, 600%.
Literally. And also, according to the research from the Human Animal Relations Research Institute, a significant majority, 74% of pet owners report that owning a pet has positively impacted their mental health, citing benefits of reduced stress, anxiety, loneliness, increased feelings of companionship, and well-being. I could definitely say that's true. Also, like, the only quote-unquote sad feeling I get is when I think of my pets being home alone. Like, that's it.
Oh, she does get very sad.
I get the pet blues.
She does. It's a whole thing. I think it's just fun. It's just like a sign of how awesome you are as a pet parent. You know, like you actually care that your baby is like home and missing you, right? Like waiting for your return. But also too, I think speaks to your bond and relationship, specifically with the Tobes and with the bin.
The Tobes and the bin. Oh my goodness.
Shout out Lobo for not getting a shot.
You know, I'm coming around to Lobo. Lobo is my German Shepherd. Let's just transition to our personal experience.
Mm-hmm.
No, he's my German Shepherd. He's 1 year old or 1.5. And
that's crazy.
It's taking him this long to grow on me still. You know, I didn't really choose him. My honey chose him as his dog, which is fine. So I'm just trying to be nice and lovable. It's just really hard sometimes.
Yeah.
You know?
Lobo is a different vibe than...
But I do get like pet blues with Lobo if I've known he's been in the kennel all day long or like more than 4 hours, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I think too of like a lot of times with pets, like you might have a stronger bond or connection. Like I've seen some things where people are like, your pets like can be your soulmates, and I think we know who's my soulmate.
Yes, we do.
Love of my life.
That beautiful Elle.
The beautiful Elle. Shout out that ginger lady. I think that's true, right? Like, that we do have, like, these strong bonds with our pets, which is why, one, we're having this episode, because they have such a positive impact. But two, like, it makes it to feel like this is how pets become, like, our chosen family / friends.
Right.
Okay, so I think it's accurate that pets can be your soulmates, because then I think it leads to of having such a strong bond, because I think they become, like, your chosen family, like, your best friend in some cases. I mean, like, literally dogs have the stereotype of being man's best friend.
Yeah.
You know, like I think there's a reason for that. So like it makes sense.
It makes a lot of sense. I grew up with dogs, but like never loved them the way I love my dog now. But let's talk about our pets.
Let's talk about
You know,
my
our
favorite
current
topic.
pets. Let's share like who our pets are
Mm-hmm.
and a little bit about them.
Okay. Do you want to start?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, go.
Okay, let's start with my firstborn son, Benjamin.
Shout out Ben.
Benji, Ben, Beanie, all the above. He is a tuxedo black and white cat.
Fluffy tuxedo black and white cat.
Yes, very fluffy. My perfect boy.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Who just recently came off the streets.
Dude, that was a traumatic period of time. So, as our listeners may know, Ash was on maternity leave. You know, it was a trying time. Very, memorable. And part of why it was so memorable is because Benj escaped. Okay, he usually goes exploring outside. And then, we were going back and forth in the hospital. And then he, went outside. And then he was accidentally locked outside. And that was horrific for me because, as you know, local Houstonians know, this past December, January was wild for weather. There was a lot of rain and cold and snow, and he survived those streets through all those elements. I don't know how. There was a lot of fluff involved, a lot of, stored fat, that helped him through it. But he was staying around my house still, thank goodness. And we did try to get him inside, but he would just run away. He was
Rebellious
these streets are for
teenager.
me. Yes, rebellious. And I was so sad and depressed. It was I was definitely avoiding the topic of thinking about it because I had a lot going on with the baby. But anyways, my sister thankfully catched him. Snatched him. I don't know, but she captured him.
She did. She said, "You going back home, getting off these streets and going to rehab."
Exactly. And he lost 6 pounds, dude. In those streets, he lost 6 pounds. I've never seen him that scrawny, except for when he was an actual baby cat teenager, growing his fluff. But that's Benjamin. He's living his best life, acting like he didn't roam the streets for 2 months.
Like it didn't happen.
He's wanting his treats as normal. He's cuddling. He's exploring the baby, sniffing her. Tried to lick her hair last night.
Oh,
it was so
grooming.
I
Love
know.
it. Oh, such a good brother / getting into father role. I don't know.
Yeah, I was okay, you're so adorbs. And his best friend is Lobo. When Lobo's the youngest, he's a German Shepherd, and they're besties. I don't know how they became besties. Maybe because, Tobe is quote unquote the king of the castle, as my honey likes to say. But anyways, Benji the cat and Lobo the German Shepherd are besties.
I would also like to add a little thing to this of I think Ben and Lobo became besties because they had to unite together to fight for your attention since Tobes gets every ounce of it most of the time.
Most of the time. So let's just talk about Tobe for a little bit. Tobe is my 2.5-year-old pug. He's apricot with black face and black ears.
That you literally thought was ugly.
And he was ugly as a baby. Not gonna lie. He was. And I wanted to send him back to the streets for the first month that we had him because he was like a little piranha, peeing and pooping everywhere.
Yeah.
But then eventually I was just it was kind of overnight where I just got hard eyes. And I was like,
he stole your little heart.
He stole my little heart, your actual boy. Toby, Tobias, Tobersu, actual mama's baby boy. Those, all the above, light of my life.
Yeah.
And he's a chunky boy now. He likes eggs and Chick-fil-A.
And he has a lot of wheezing problems.
He has a lot of wheezing problems, but he's semi-athletic.
Yeah, he is. He parkours over your house.
He parkours. He does parkour. He grooms everyone except Benji. He likes to give licks and kisses. And I felt so bad last night. Baby girl sleeps on my side, and little C.
Yeah.
And Tobe used to sleep there before I was PG, pregnant.
Yeah.
And last night he tried to get sleep where she was sleeping, on the same little seat. And I was like, no, you have to go on the other side by my feet. And he just looked at me
heartbroken.
Yeah. And I'm like, I still love you, Edge boy. And he was
throwing a tantrum at the end of the bed.
He's like, I'm too tired for this. But yeah.
I mean, I think too, right? Like, as Addie gets older, like, Tobe is going to be the one probably still sleeping in your bed, and Addie's going to be like, I need my own bed.
For sure.
So it's like, he can just, like, be patient.
Yeah, I will be heartbroken if he goes sleeps in her bed, though.
Oh, that actually could happen, and I think we should prepare for it. Also, this is another fine example of why we're talking about this, because our pets are literally our children, and they mean so much to us.
Yes. I think also, like, just having that personal experience, it's like a relationship. Like, you're not just someone I take care of, but, like, you bring me this amount of happiness, and like, you do make me get up in the morning, like, not as, like, a no, but, like, as a,
Motivation.
Motivation. Like, you do need to go. Like, I want to take care of you.
Yeah.
And you take care of me emotionally.
And give unconditional love.
Unconditional love.
Like, I don't have to, like, beg you for love. You just give it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I give you treats.
And you learn to, like, talk a language. Like, I'm sure you, like, talk a language with your cats,
Yes. Yeah. I'm sure you've witnessed that yourself.
Yeah, definitely, for sure.
Well, I guess that's a good transition into my little babies.
Yes, please.
So I am definitely a cat person. Not to say I don't like dogs, because I do like dogs. But I also had a really traumatic experience with, like, big dogs, so I'm, like, still really scared of big dogs. Lobo helps, though, because he's so sweet.
He is adorable.
But cats are just my thing. I appreciate their independence
Yes.
and their cuteness.
Yes.
So I have 6, and I
Yes.
think that throws people off a little bit, but I would like to, like, just even, give an excuse. I have enough rooms in my house that we all fit.
Correct.
So I think that is enough justification for me to have 6 cats.
Yeah.
But I digress,
Exactly. They're living the best.
Yes, they are living their best life, as am I, because of them.
Exactly.
Like, I literally go to work for them so I can build a better life for them.
Exactly.
But, so I have 6 cats. They range from the ages of 11 to almost 1 year old.
No way.
Baby.
No way.
And it's a whole journey, so I'll go through really quickly. Luna's the oldest, queen of the house. She's a little temperamental. She stays in our master bedroom, has her own oasis because she doesn't like other people. It's a whole thing. But my little cuddle butt, that's my ride or die.
I didn't know she was 11.
Yes, it makes me sad saying that out loud.
Dude, my God.
Don't even get me started.
I love her.
Yes, my senior citizen lady. And then we have Tutors, who his real name is Leo DiCaprio, but nobody knows that, and he does not go by that. We call him Toot Toot.
Now you all know that.
Now you know that, yeah. And he is literally our anxiety boy, like separation anxiety. I think just general anxiety too. But he's also like the sweetest little man, and we call him Mr. Sweetface.
Mm-hmm.
He's so cute.
He
Lovable.
is.
And he loves everyone sometimes.
The cutest potato.
The cutest potato. Yes. A handsome potato. And then we have Nova, who is the bane of my existence.
Lord.
She is my partner's favorite. And also, like, is obsessed with my partner. It's a competition of attention.
Mm-hmm.
And she's Siamese. And she's cross-eyed. There's just, like, lots of things with that. She's been really rebellious lately, and I don't appreciate it. So that's been a whole thing.
My goodness.
She's just like, I'm going to run outside, and you tell me not to. And I'm like,
no.
This is not okay.
Nobody knows.
You are too grown for this right now. So yeah, that's a whole thing in my house. And then we have Elle. My God. Ellie Belly. This is the love of my life, light of my life, literally my reason for living.
Yes, star of the show.
Star of the show. And she is, how would you describe her as an outside perspective?
Dude, she is like the beautiful, spunky, mystical ginger.
Doesn't take no crap.
Doesn't take no crap.
She like is a whole vibe.
She is. She's like someone I want to be when I grow up. As a 30-year-old woman.
Oh my God, that's so crazy of you to say because I literally just thought of her hissing at you.
Literally.
Oh my gosh. Trauma.
Literally trauma. I was just coming on too hard with a lot of love, and like she was like, chill out.
She was. She did, have to tell you.
Yeah.
To put you in your place a little bit, but it's okay. So yeah, she's a whole thing. Then we have Will, my little willow sage.
Oh my goodness.
Who is literally the most compassionate marshmallow lady.
Literally.
She's white with gray spots and flooferdoodles all the way. play. And she literally is the sweetest thing because she will bring stuff from my craft room to feed us all every night.
Yeah.
And she announces it all the way down. And then she wants pets for her good predator things. Usually it's
great.
pipe cleaners or random pieces of paper. Sometimes it's scissors, and that's been a whole thing.
Dude, what?
Like, what are like?
She's like, I'm helping out, Mom.
Yeah, it's a whole thing. And then we have my bad baby Bodes, who is the newest and almost 1 year old, and I'm not okay.
Wild.
And he is a fluffy tuxedo just like Ben, but he's not as fluffy. Well, I think his top part is not as fluffy, but his tail is fluffy. And he is literally my ADHD baby to a T, but the sweetest little man ever. And you hear him before you see him because he's just per city. Yeah, he's also the love of my life.
I need to go see him and pet him. He did not make an appearance the last time I was there.
Did not.
And I was kind of sad about it.
He's like, how dare you? Like, where have you been, Auntie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just popping out a whole human.
Need to bring a sacrifice to the altar of Bodes.
How is Bodes and Toots?
Okay, so Bodie is obsessed with Toot Toot, but he also wants to play all the time, and Toot Toot also is the elder of the group.
Yeah.
So he's like, sometimes I play, sometimes I don't, but he loves him. He'll just go and sit on him, straddle him.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, what are we doing here, son?
Yeah.
So it's we're still learning boundaries in private space, but it is what it is.
Do you have a name for your cat pack?
The Heckleberries.
The Heckleberries.
They're the little berries of our group.
Yes.
Yeah. That's what we decided to name them because, now it's a whole basketball team at this point. So we're you need a proper name.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what we decided on. And they're our little cult, gang, group, whatever you want to call them.
I'm trying to think of the name of lion packs.
A den?
A den?
Is that what it's called?
I don't know.
A lion den? No, I don't think that's accurate. I think that's just where they sleep.
But you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, I knew it. And I am going to be so upset if I can't figure this out. I can't think of it.
Yeah, me
We're going to have to insert that later because I can't even think of it.
But yeah, that's our personal experience.
Our literal baby.
Our little babies that give us so much happiness and love.
Literally, which is why we literally wanted to do this episode because they also give us the motivation to share of pets are worth it, right?
Yes.
No matter what it is. If it's a dog, if it's a cat, it's a lizard, I don't care what it is. I will not own a lizard myself because reptilians are not my thing. But if that works for you, go for it.
Literally. I have a client that has birds, terrified of birds, and I'm like,
God.
you go, girl, for having those birds.
Really? Okay, I'm terrified of birds too, but have you seen on TikTok the parakeet that goes, bacon, bacon, pancakes?
No.
It literally loves bacon pancakes. And so it thinks that. And it's bacon, bacon. I'm gonna have to show you it after this. But it's so cute. And the owner, just gives her so much life. And I'm like, I need that. So now randomly, I'm just bacon, bacon, pancakes. Also, I hope that sounded really cool ASMR.
Literally.
But pivoting back to our topic, which is how does this impact our mental health?
Yes.
Well, we're going to get to the science behind it. I think it's pretty simple, right? When we have a physical interaction with our pets, whether it's cuddling, whether it's giving them pets, or just stroking their beautiful fur, it releases oxytocin in our body, right? Which essentially is the bonding hormone. So it's every time you're petting, I think in my case, every time I look at my cat, pets,
for sure,
I'm oxytocin.
Yes, for
every time I think of my pets, specifically Ellie, tears, oxytocin.
Yes,
just all the vibes.
So true.
Lots of bonding hormones going on. And as we know, this means that our stress is going down. This means that we're building an emotional connection and a bond with them, which obviously is super important. And something I think too that just came to mind is I think for a lot of people sometimes, and I'm thinking of COVID, like in isolation around this is a lot of people either really struggle with social interactions or knowing how to build relationships with people, or because of the isolation, the loneliness that COVID put us all through, like it made it feel like we all were like, how do I communicate or make friends? And I think doing it with pets is a really good practice of like, I can still do this, I can still build a connection. Obviously it's different, but at least it gives us, right, kind of like that stepping stone a little bit.
For sure. Would definitely agree with that. And it's not like it takes a lot of effort to do it, like,
right,
because unfortunately animals don't speak English or any other human language, you know? They have their own language.
Are you sure? I hear my pets talk all the time.
You know, that eye contact, that like, you know, body contact if they're like rubbing up against you or like giving you kisses, you know, like that is a form of communication.
1,000%. And then I love all the TikToks. It's like, if your cat blinks at you, it means they love you. And I'm like, Ellie be blinking at me every day. And I'm like, I love you so much. Like, wow, you're so beautiful.
Yeah.
Like, and you've been a testament or seen that Ellie will talk to me when I talk to her.
Dude, yes.
Like, I think they do understand to some degree. Or they're like, this crazy lady is talking to me again. Let me pretend like I know what she's saying so she'll give me treats.
Exactly.
But that's a whole other thing. Also, being around animals increases our serotonin and increases our dopamine, which is the chemical reactions to make us feel happier, to make us feel more relaxed. These are the good things. So all around makes us feel more grounded, makes us feel just like a little bit more of like a relaxing, stable place, which we all deserve, especially in high stress situations. I also found this study that shows that even petting a dog for 10 minutes, and I'm going to add in a caveat of I think you could pet anything for 10 minutes, like significantly lowers our cortisol levels, which again is related to stress hormones. And maybe like listeners have heard, I think there's like a lot of research or things going on right now about high cortisol and how it impacts your body.
Yeah.
I know I've been seeing it a lot. It literally has so many like effects when our cortisol is high. And so being able to lower that, even with like being with your pet, is really awesome. Like, it shows even just like the impact physically right on us from this. I don't think a lot of people think about when you're just like engaging with an animal or your pet, which is why I think too of like when colleges bring pets or puppies or kitties like to help with stress of finals or just in general, like people go berserk. When we have our therapy dogs on campus, people get so excited. It's such a high turnout because it's literally an animal.
Literally.
Getting to spend time with it. And hopefully it just allows your body to feel like a little bit more regulated.
Yeah. Like either they're cute or interesting to look at, you know? When you're petting an animal, cat, dog, whatever, like you're like in that moment. Like your senses of like touch and like sight and like maybe smell. Hopefully they smell good, you know?
Yes. Hopefully they smell good.
You're like in that moment, like you're zoned in.
Yes. That's such a good point of like engaging the five senses, which obviously grounds you, right? Brings you back to the present moment. So even like petting them allows you to be mindful. Like, it just comes full circle.
Full circle.
Like, all the way back around. Also, another study found that, like, when college students interact with therapy dogs, this also has immediate reduction in their cortisol levels again. Also found that pet owners have lower blood pressure, cholesterol levels, heart rate variability. Again, reduces stress in general for health problems. So, like, all around, having a pet or being around animals, like, if you're not able to have a pet, just has a positive impact on you. Now, I will say, I think the lower blood pressure sometimes can be a little inaccurate if you have a bad bodes, like I do. Sometimes he be making me feel a little stressed.
Yeah.
But it's like short term. Like immediately follows up with cuddles, purrs, good vibes. So nice little buffer.
Yes. That's a good way to put it. Like short term stress.
Yes.
Short term, like your blood is boiling,
Mhm.
you know, like, what did you just do? You know, like, oh, now I have to clean up that mess.
Right.
Or I'm gonna throw away this rug now, you know, it's just a rug.
Or
Just a rug.
you ate my flip-flop and you're a cat, so what are we doing here?
Exactly.
Yeah, that was a hard day.
Or you're freaking me out. Like, you know, that's a dangerous location that you're sitting on or standing,
Oh my
you know?
Yes.
Binges, capades in the streets. You know, my mind was just going to a bajillion places. And then he was just like, under my house. What's up?
Yeah.
What you been doing? Oh, there's a baby now? Oh, okay, cool. You popped that one out.
He just like missed so much and then came back like nothing happened. What a teenager thing to do.
Yeah. Okay, but let's talk some more about how can a pet help mental health? Like we talked about these stats, like awesome, but more into like the specifics, right? Like increasing your physical activity for sure, taking that dog on a walk
Or cat.
or cat on a walk.
Mhm.
I definitely want to get Benji a leash, like a little, what is it?
Like a harness.
Harnessed. I love that I did that motion and you knew exactly what I was talking about.
We are too connected.
Yes, a harness. My cousin takes her cat on a walk.
Yeah. You just need to get like a double stroller. Addie can be in one part, Ben can be in the other, and they walk together.
Boom. Yes. I try to take my dogs for a walk every day or every other day, but definitely, like, you know, you be getting your blood pumping.
Well, you also go in the backyard a lot with them while they're playing, so even if you're not able to go for a walk, you're still getting physical with them in general.
Yes, that sun vitamin.
I know.
Something we've touched on already is like the loneliness and social connection, providing companionship and connecting with others. Like if you take your dog or your cat, like to social things, you know, or if you have people over, like that forms a interaction or a moment where you can like have a conversation or like create a deeper bond. Like you have a similar dog as me, or our dogs want to sniff each other's booties, or like how old is your dog or whatever it is, and like making that connection, or like sharing photos of your pets, like of your cat. So like, oh my gosh, you know, your cat is so cute, or when did you get them, or like finding similarities.
Right.
You know, making friends just because you have like a similar pet or a pet.
Yeah.
It's very common.
I think it makes me think of too of like, and maybe you can attest to this because obviously you're a new mom, but I think a lot of times I hear like new moms that feel like they don't have like mom friends, and that can feel really isolating. And so then it's almost like that, right? Of like you finding people that are dog moms or cat moms or lizard moms or whatever, right? And being able to like meet someone that like gets it, you know?
Yes.
Like I feel like it's very universal in that way across it.
Yes. Or even like finding a partner that grew up with dogs or pets.
Yes.
Or maybe like you really like someone and then you learn that they never grew up with any animals and you're like, oh my gosh, we get to introduce you to this whole new world. Like that was definitely my case. Like, you know, never grew up with dogs or pets in the house.
Yeah.
And so, you know, my honey was like, this is a new thing for me, the dog in the bed. I'm like, well,
gonna get acclimated.
we're gonna get acclimated. You're gonna see how like awesome it is. Maybe with Toby, it's a different story because he snores.
He does snore like a grown man.
He's working on the snoring, kind of. It's just he has to be in a certain position. Pets can give you also like a sense of security and someone to share your day with.
Yes.
Like you know you're coming home to this wonderful cute face.
Yes.
You know, like, and they're looking forward to seeing you.
Yes, and giving you cuddles and greeting you at the door. It's like so special.
Very.
My lovely ginger lady greets me every day.
Yeah, and you feel like cared for, like you feel like wanted and needed, you know, and it can especially help when you are living alone.
Yes.
Or like transitioning to like a big like change in your life, you know, like moving out of your parents' house, or you know, I just started this new job and it's scary.
Yeah. Well, I think it's like a stability piece too, right? Of like I know that like this precious baby like is literally there for me no matter, you know, like what changes in my life kind of come down to.
Yes.
Like sometimes it can be really helpful to just have like that one base.
Like sense of familiarity. That's so true.
Yes.
Something we touched on earlier is that mindfulness aspect of like relieving alleviating stress and anxiety, right? That calming effect of petting them, playing with them, brushing them, going for walks, photo shoots.
Literally.
Celebrations, like gotcha day or birthday, Halloween.
Any holiday.
Pets provide that emotional grounding. Their presence help us focus in that moment versus ruminating, and also get us out of our own head.
Yes.
Stop all that thinking, even for those moments you're just with them.
Right.
Yes.
I think that's accurate. Also, transitioning also helps when we're feeling maybe some depressive type symptoms, right? So the responsibility of caring for a pet gives us a sense of purpose, right? And especially if we're feeling just low and in kind of a funk with it, it's kind of hard to feel like we have a sense of our why or our purpose or motivation. And so that I've heard a lot of my pet is the reason I get out of bed.
Oh, yeah.
And it's that's powerful, right? Because when we're feeling like that, it's really hard to find one thing, right? That's let's just get out of bed today.
Yeah, I definitely can say this past 2 years that I've had my dogs, coming home from work, stressful day at work, and just not wanting to do anything, wanting to be a couch potato and veg on Instagram. I'm no, these dogs need a walk, and no matter how I feel right now, they have to go for a walk. So
yes,
I'm going with them.
Yeah, and I think too of especially when we have such a strong focus on our pets and their well-being, is sometimes what comes with that is I want to take care of myself so I can take care of them, and I think again that's kind of universal as a parent type role, right? Of I gotta put my mask on before I can put the mask on my child, my partner, whoever else.
Yes.
That part can sometimes be really, I think impactful in that sense of increasing the action to get to motivation.
Yes.
So, yeah. Again, it also increases our serotonin, our dopamine in the brain. Self-esteem and confidence-wise, to have that unconditional love from our pets can really help us foster a sense of worth. It can also give us a sense of confidence, a sense of responsibility, because we're proving to ourselves I can take care of this pet, this animal that needs me, right? That loves me. Also, pets can be really great listeners.
They are, OMG.
It's, I think too of obviously they can't talk back or tell us that was a little cray-cray, but sometimes the looks that Ellie gives me, I'm okay, you right, let me simmer down here.
It's the eye contact.
Right, it's the eye contact, turning of the head, you doing too much. But they are good listeners.
Yes.
So I love that. I think that also is just so nice when we feel isolated, when we feel misunderstood by people. It's I know you got me. I know you listening actively. And you ain't trying to get defensive with me.
Exactly.
I'm saying. It also adds structure to our day, right? I think this is super important in a lot of things that happen. But just mental health stuff is structure is really nice and vital sometimes. And so having that daily routine of I wake up at this time to take my pet out to go to the bathroom. I feed them at this time. Even if I know I groom them one day a week or whatever that looks like. It just kind of helps you again be more in the moment, more intentional with your time, and can kind of give you a sense of achievement too of I'm sticking to that, right?
Yes.
I have this stability and the routine of me doing the things that I need to do.
For sure. I know for me, setting their doctor's appointments has helped me think about I need to set my own doctor's appointments.
Yes, I love that.
Oh yeah, I need to do that and doing it,
right,
getting it done. But transitioning to the topic of therapy, animals in the therapy realm. How about that? Let's touch on the differences between an ESA, therapy animals, and service animals. So ESA is like an emotional support animal, and they provide comfort for people diagnosed with mental health conditions like anxiety, depression. Are they trained?
Like animals?
No, the ESAs.
I don't know if they're. I think there is.
I think they have to be trained.
I don't know if they have to necessarily.
Yeah.
But I do know there is like some type of certification thing that you can get.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's like strict, like, because I think like we have students that get ESAs and I don't think like they have certified ESAs, but it's just like because like we work with them and we see the impact of their mental health and how their pets help to regulate them, then it's kind of like, right, like justification, like we're, kind of like validating that to some degree, but it is really focused on like the emotional regulation that my pet provides me. Like when my cat sits on my chest and purrs, like that helps me to just be more present, to kind of calm down. Maybe it activates my nervous system, like so different things like that.
That makes a lot of sense. Like having an ESA to help you through life or stressful moments instead of like another form of healing or regulation.
Yep.
Like it could be another tool in the toolbox. Say.
Exactly.
So therapy animals are different. These are used in hospitals, nursing homes, and schools to provide comfort to groups of people. Similar to like the therapy animals, therapy dogs that we have that come on campus here, like every so often.
Right. And like there are therapists and mental health providers out there that have like therapy animals that they have in their office in every session that they incorporate with it. And I think therapy animals do go through training. Like they have to, because remember you were going to do that, I think with Tobe, and it's like whole training. You have to do so many hours and things and prove that they are like able to do the things that they're supposed to do.
For sure.
So I know that one's like a little bit more of like higher level.
I'm also thinking of like equine therapy.
Equine therapy. Yes, there's a lot of training in that to make sure that it's effective and not harmful.
Yeah. I want to try that one day. So, and lastly, service animals. So these are animals specifically trained to assist with disabilities like PTSD or seizures or heart attacks. I've also heard of like a dog like sensing when someone's blood sugar is low.
Yes.
And so they have like a cue because I think it's very dangerous if a blood sugar is low, like someone can pass out.
Yes. Yeah. Like they can kind of tell. Like also too, like if someone has, what is that disorder where you just like go to sleep? Like,
yes, I know what you're talking about.
I can't remember the name of it, but like,
either.
Like things like that. Like they're able to alert, like, hey, like this is happening. Like make sure like you're in a safe spot, like, etc. Or like some are even trained to like pull like pills, like, and give them to it. Open the fridge, get a water. Like I literally just watched a TikTok on this. So there's like pretty like intense things that they are able to like do to provide like care and service for people that have like these conditions and honestly save their life a lot of times. So it's super like crazy of like just even like how much they can learn and like utilize to help someone. But I think again just goes back to how impactful pets are on our well-being in general.
And very smart, like not just intelligence, but emotional intelligence.
Right. Yes. Which I think too just kind of goes back to it of like having that emotional connection and that bond with animals is like very accurate and factual. Like it's a real thing.
Yes.
Like, and there's a reason that they're able to be so helpful for us. Like, because there's something there. Like,
there is something there.
Okay, so we also wanted to give some alternatives if you're not able to own a pet, which fair, like valid, especially for our college students who like might not have the financials or resources in general to own a pet. Like, understand that. So there are some ways that you can get in this time with animals, such as you can volunteer at shelters, right? Having that pet interaction without like full-time responsibility, or even being able to say, you know what, like I volunteer one Saturday a month and I look forward to it, right? Or I get my feel of like kitty love. Like, that would be me.
Oh,
I'd just be in the cat section.
Mhm.
But, like, doing that and being intentional about incorporating that, especially if it's something that it means a lot to you, right? Like, if you're someone who is passionate about, like, volunteer work with animal shelters or just organizations in general, like, love that. Way to, like, connect with your community and also get that feel. Also, you can pet foster, right? Which is temporary. I will say, though, like, good luck with not being a foster fail.
Oh my God.
Keeping the animals, because I could never. I would literally have like 30 cats right now, which is crazy. But it is something, right? If you're like, I do want to have, some temporary pet care, take care of an animal until they find like a long-term, like, good home for them, that could be an option. Also, you can pet sit, you can borrow a friend's pet. You can be like, listen, I'm gonna come over and I just want to sit with your pet. Like, and I just need cuddles kind of thing. Like, super helpful. You can also, like, be on Rover or do those, like, animal sitting jobs where you get paid for it to go, like, feed animals while people are out of town, give them cuddles, whatever you need to do. You can visit animal therapy centers or sanctuaries. Again, just being with rescue animals or even animals, kind of like we talked about earlier, that are kind of specialized or trained in giving like more support in that way, just to see like if it's helpful kind of thing. Especially if it's something too, I think if you are someone who like has a condition, right? And you are debating or thinking about like whether you want to get like a service animal.
Oh yeah.
Like going to a place, right, and kind of learning about it or seeing. It's really helpful to kind of determine. Also, you can participate in campus events. So we've talked about it a couple times, but the library does a therapy dog event. I think they do it every semester.
Yeah.
Where they bring in like therapy dogs that you're able to get cuddles with, and it's a fun time. So like plan to come to that. Like a lot of campuses will bring like puppies, kittens, animals. So definitely like if you stay connected with what like your campus is doing or even the community is doing, like stay alert with that and like go to those things to help with stress as it comes up, because it's going to come up. So do the things you need to do to help take care of yourself and get all the cuddly vibes.
Yes. OMG. I miss my fur babies now.
I know. I do too. I need some purr loves.
So we hope that this episode was very informative and very fun to listen to. And you got some good stories and info about how helpful and calming and just overall how much pets can add to your life and mental and overall well-being.
Yeah.
And we hope that you can own a pet or take care of a pet or just spend some time with a pet or animal.
Yeah. Yep.
In the foreseeable future.
Right.
If you want, to see our fur babies, if you're on the Houston campus, we'd love to show you pics.
Truly.
We'll
always share pics of the babies.
Yes. But to wrap up, we have our traditional quote, and today's quote is by Roger Caras.
I don't know if it's Caras, Caras, Let you decide how it's pronounced.
Okay. Today's quote is by Roger C.
Roger C. Yes.
We're struggling with the pronunciation.
Yes.
So that's okay. But he said, or they said, pets may not be our whole lives, but they make our lives whole. Wow, mic drop on that, literally. It's just like a love and connection that's like no other.
Yes,
it's just, it hits different.
It does hit different, yes.
So, yeah. But stay tuned for next month. We are covering the topic of the healing myth. It's not always peaceful, and that's okay.
Yes. Healing is not linear, so stay tuned for that episode because it will be, I think, a hitter in the sense of might hit a little deep, but needs to be hit to some degree. So,
for Shizzy.
We'll see you next time.
Yes.